not a video that I wanted to make because, frankly, I've been debating actually going and watching this movie myself. But I finally just sat down and realized I can't justify watching this movie. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about, I'm talking about the Uncharted movie. And I've been debating on watching this movie. And, you know, because I'm not a paid critic. So if you see me review a movie, it's usually because I really want to, or I just ended up seeing it for whatever reason. And a lot of times I see movies because, well, I work at a movie theater and, you know, I get free tickets, so I'll have like a day off and, you know, I'll go pick up my paycheck, whatever, and I'll go watch a couple movies. That's kind of what I do, you know. Or, you know, sometimes I'll go opening weekend. Most time I don't, though. So that's kind of how I run, right? So I've been debating on going to see this Uncharted movie. I was going to go use a free ticket, go watch it. And I finally decided that I can't do this because I should state before I get into why. I don't think you should spend your money on this movie either. Now, I'm not in charge of how you spend your money. It is your choice. But if you want, I recommend you don't. We need to show Hollywood that this is a problem. And what I mean by that is this. I've never played an Uncharted game, okay? I have no attachment to these games. But I can see from a lot of the reviews I've read and a lot of people talking about this movie that it's not accurate to the game. And even just looking at the games, right? Not even playing them. You can tell it's inaccurate to the game. Now, why do you care if it's not accurate to the game if you don't play the games? Well, it's because this is not, let's say, okay, so let's say we let Uncharted pass as this movie that's not accurate to the games, right? Well, what's to say they reboot Star Wars in 20 years? Okay, I'm a huge Star Wars fan, and it's nothing like Star Wars. Wouldn't I be mad? You know? And that's where I'm coming from with this, is that if you don't care about Uncharted, you may not care that it's not accurate to the games. But what happens when it is a franchise that you do know and you do like and it's not accurate to the games? Well, it's going to make you upset. You know? And that's where I'm coming from this. I've read a lot of reviews about this movie where people have said the same sentence, basically, where they're like, if you don't know the games, it's a fun movie and general audiences will enjoy it. And I look at that and I go, that's not fair, right? Because they could have made a movie that's fun and fun for general audiences and accurate to the game, but instead they didn't do both. And I don't think that we should reward these people, these Hollywood and studio executives, for not doing what we wanted. You know, there was a lot of fan casting that went around for Nathan Fillion because he looked the part. He had the same name as the actual goddamn character in the game, right? And they didn't bother to cast him, right? The character's name is Nathan Drake, and they wanted someone named Nathan Fillion, not just because of his name, but, you know, I'm just saying. So I don't believe that we should be rewarding these studios for this shit. And I think that's why I can't justify watching this movie, even though I am curious and I would like to see how good it is. But the way I look at it is, even if it's a good movie, it's a sore spot. Because it's not accurate to this game that so many people love. And I would hate any reboot of any franchise I like to be the same. And so we need to show Hollywood, hey, we won't show up if you don't make something accurate to the thing we like. I mean, that's why Transformers was so frustrating for a lot of people, is because it wasn't accurate to the cartoons that it was based on. That's why Resident Evil, you know, before they made the new one, I haven't seen the new one, but that franchise was so frustrating because they didn't make them anything like the games. That's why a lot of these franchises are so frustrating. And I think it's time that we stop supporting them Because why Resident Evil got by for so long is people kept watching them. Why Transformers got by for so long, people kept watching them. And that's where we're at with this shit. You know, we finally just need to stomp our foot down and say, no. You make it like the thing I know, and fun for other people who don't know that thing, or I ain't watching it. Because you're not going to steal money from me like that. And I know a lot of people might look at this and go, you're just a self-entitled nerd. Why can't other people just have their fun? And I say, screw you, man. You don't understand. And you don't understand why we're fans, you know? And I think you're more of a hater in that sense, you know? Because at the end of the day, we're fans who are just disappointed that this thing we like has been, I don't want to say ruined, but not appreciated by this studio in a sense. So yeah, this was a hard video because, again, I've been really debating in my head, should I go see this movie? Should I go see this movie? But you know what? For you guys, I'm going to take a stance. And here's the thing. I don't think I'm going to make, I don't think when I'm going to look at box office numbers on Monday for this weekend, I don't think, wow, I'm going to make a really big stance and now this movie's going to flop. If it does, cool. That's actually a good thing. Because, no, this should not be allowed. But I don't think I'm going to be able to make a stance. Tom Holland is a huge name. Mark Wahlberg's kind of a huge name. So, at the end of the day, to general audiences, this looks like a fun movie. And I think that's okay. But I think I'm taking this stance for me, basically, I don't want more franchises I love being treated like this in Hollywood. It's not fair. And, I'm voting with my dollar. Even though that realistically I'm probably going to have zero effect. That's why I'm not calling this a boycott. Because I'm not boycotting to make a stance, make a change. I would like it to lead to that, but I doubt it is. Because, we don't get that kind of thing happening. So, I'm just a little guy. I don't have that many subscribers, you know what I mean? So, that's the way I feel about this. Sorry for the negativity in this video. I'm not usually someone that's afraid of negative, but this is a very negative video. And, it's one I felt like I needed to make.